Hello viewers, Moana is a film which is liked by many children. It's Voldemort who said, "The boy who lived." This is Iron Man whose daughter said, "I love you 3000. What are we going to learn today? Welcome to Teacher Talk on relative clause or adjectival clause. Look at these sentences. Rishabh has seen every film that is produced by Marvel Studios and Paramount Pictures. Trent Boult, who is one of the best bowlers, was jumping with joy. The words that are underlined are relative clauses or adjectival clauses. What is a relative clause? A relative clause is a dependent clause that starts with a relative pronoun like who, whose, whom, which, that, when, where, and why. It has a subject and a verb, yet it can't stand alone as a sentence. Like in this sentence, that is produced by Marvel Studios and Paramount Pictures has a subject and a verb, but still it doesn't make complete sense. Relative clause describes a noun or it gives more information about a noun. It describes the subject or the object of the sentence. The relative clause can come after the main clause, as in this sentence. That is produced by Marvel Studios and Paramount Pictures is coming after the main clause. Rishabh has seen every film. Or it can come in the middle of the sentence, like who is one of the best bowlers is in the middle of the sentence or in the middle of the main clause. There are two kinds of relative clauses: defining relative clause and non-defining relative clause. So, what is a defining relative clause? Defining relative clause gives us important or essential information about what or who is being referred to. A defining relative clause usually comes immediately after the noun it describes. For example, the doctor who treated you is my aunt. The relative clause tells us which doctor we are talking about. It is an important information. If we remove the clause, we would not know which doctor we are talking about. And it comes immediately after the noun it describes. Non-defining relative clause gives us extra information and can be left out or removed out from the sentence without changing the basic meaning. For example, my aunt is a doctor who visits the same mall as you. We already know which doctor. It's my aunt. Who visits the same mall as you does not tell which doctor we are talking about. It just adds extra information. If we remove the clause, who visits the same mall as you, my aunt is a doctor makes complete sense. One more. My tenant, who is a fashion designer, has invited us to her fashion show. Who is a fashion designer is giving us extra information. So, what are the other differences between defining and non-defining relative clauses? First up, we do not use a comma to separate it from the rest of the sentence. Here, we use a comma to separate the clause. My aunt is a doctor who visits the same mall as you. Note the comma. If a clause refers to a person or a named person, we use who. The man who is sitting next to you is Anand Mahendra. This is an essential information. And without the relative clause, we do not know which man we are talking about. Whereas, in non-defining relative clause, Trent Boult, who is one of the best bowlers, jumping with joy. Who is one of the best bowlers is just adding extra information. Notice the two commas here. If the clause refers to a thing, we use which. Kathy works for a company which makes cosmetics. Here it is giving important information. Otherwise, we do not know which company Kathy works for. Non-defining, Kathy told me about her job which she is not liking much. It is giving extra information about Kathy's job. Look at the comma here. We use whose to refer people, animals, and sometimes things. And it is a possessive. We met a man whose car is for sale. Here it is giving information about which man you met. Whereas here it is adding extra information. Let's say Shiv wants to buy my car is an important information. Shiv's brother works with me is an extra information. That's the possessive. We use where for places. In a defining clause, we could say Nasik is the town where Chetan was born. Here it is giving essential or important information. You can also say Kalfit is the place where you can tone your muscles. Whereas in non-defining relative clause, Nancy has just been to Patna where her grandparents live. It gives extra information. We use when for times. I remember the day when I met Austin. Or you can omit when and say, I remember the day I met Austin. The relative pronoun is only omitted from defining relative clause and only when it is the object of the clause. This picture was taken yesterday when it was raining. You cannot omit the relative pronoun here. We use whom for people. This is mostly used in written English. This is Sheila, whom you met last year. Here it is giving essential information. Whereas in this sentence, this morning I met Sheila, whom I hadn't seen for ages. Whom I hadn't seen for ages is adding extra information. Why is used only in defining relative clause after the words the reason. Mickey Mouse is the reason why Walt Disney became famous, or Mickey Mouse is the reason Walt Disney became famous. Well, there is no such usage in non-defining relative clause. That can only be used in defining clause instead of who, which, and whom. The boy who lived, or the boy that lived. We use it for a group of people. Liverpool is the team that won the Champions Trophy against Flamingo, or Liverpool is the team which won the Champions Trophy against Flamingo. Again, not in non-defining. This is Sheila, whom you met last year. This is Sheila that you met last year. Again, a no-no in non-defining. Now, it's your turn. Assess yourself. Identify the relative clauses in these sentences. Here are the answers. Good job. Some more sentences. You have your answers. Excellent. Keep practicing. Don't forget to hit the like button and the bell icon.